good has come of it. We've made some fantastic trade deals, great for both countries.
Even after recent rain, much of North Carolina remains locked in severe or extreme drought conditions as state regulators grapple with growing battles over who gets access to water during a period of rapid growth. The assistant state climatologist, Corey Davis, tells SFNtoday.com.
This was a 2-day, fairly soaking rain event, and that's different from what we had seen back in the beginning of the month, where these were just a few hours of heavy rain in some spots. So, again, that is one nice thing that we've seen over that last week.
Preparations have begun ahead of the Big Rock Blue Marlin fishing tournament in Morehead City in June. Anna Smith, Public Information Officer, Morehead City, tells WNCT.
The Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament is a really great week for us to help showcase what makes Morehead City shine. It's our people. It's the event.
With grocery prices remaining high and gas prices still rising, many Americans are struggling.
3/4 of the nation's food banks right now are seeing the same or increased demand from where they were a year ago.
You're listening to NCN News.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. City Manager Doug Hewitt and city staff presented the fiscal year 2027 recommended operating budget to the City Council and the public. The recommended budget totals about $322 million. It reflects the city's commitment to delivering quality public services while remaining fiscally responsible. The City Council will review the recommended budget during work sessions on May 21st and 28th. Council members will deliberate on funding priorities, ask questions, and request adjustments. A public hearing is set for May 26th at the regular City Council meeting. Cumberland County is grateful for the partnership and support of the Fayetteville Animal Protection Society as they continue to work together to support the animals in their care. Thanks to a generous donation from FAP's donor-supported Spay It Forward program, they are able to expand access to spay and neuter services for animals that are currently in shelter and foster care. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
Our weather is all about high pressure as we enter the weekend. It's a ridge aloft that will bring temperatures back into the 90s. We haven't felt them since April. Sunshine, warmer today with mid to upper 70s, but the humidity is still very low. It'll be a nice day to be outside. Mostly clear tonight, upper 40s to low 50s. Tomorrow is mostly sunny, breezy, and warmer, mid to upper 80s. It's likely that we'll see highs in the 90s Sunday. I'm meteorologist Mike Mays in the NCN Weather Center.
This edition of your local news and weather is brought to you by Fayetteville PWC.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
And good morning to you on this Friday morning, the WID Morning Show. This is Brother Troy. I have waiting in the wings on the phone lines with us. It is DL and Jay this morning. Not necessarily in that order. We can flip it around the other way. We can say Jay and DL. But anyway, Jay is our world globetrotter. He's been, were you on that China trip? Because he had 20 billionaires. Just asked it for a friend.
I was not on the China trip. I was on the LA trip.
I heard that. But anyway, good morning to you, Jay and DL.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. So, Jay asked, so I thought that was interesting enough because he was personally there. So let's dive into this thing, Jay. First of all, I'll say those individuals out there. It was about 48 degrees early this morning, so my dog had me up early, and I was out walking him. I waited till it got light, and when I came back in, it was still 48 degrees. So it's a little cool here in Fayetteville, but I think after today, we're getting over this. We're going into a serious heat drive. So, dress appropriately today, but you're going to have to take off this stuff on tomorrow and Sunday. Be going that way. But anyway, Jay, tell us about your LA trip, specifically some stuff that went on.
Yeah, so I was lucky enough to go out and visit my nephew in LA, and we got tickets to the Kevin Hart live Netflix special.
Okay.
Which was very cool. A lot of big celebrities. It was opened up by Usher. We had Tom Brady, a lot of big stars. So this was a roast of Kevin Hart, and it was a 3-hour special.
3 hours.
A lot of comedians. 3 hours. That's right.
Dang.
And a lot of raunchy, very raunchy, dirty, racist jokes. Now, I didn't realize until after the fact that there was a lot of controversy about the jokes. The primary writers that Kevin Hart hired for the special were 5 white writers. So it was very interesting to have white writers write jokes for some of the black comedians that were, some of the white comedians that were very racist in nature. So the question is, why wouldn't you have a more diverse group of writers writing for the Kevin Hart roast? And all I can say is there were some jokes that were very funny throughout the evening.
Okay.
Some jokes were extremely racist and really inappropriate. They even were jokes about suicide. And one of the comedians, her husband committed suicide, maybe 15 years ago, and they were making jokes about suicide. So there are 2 questions. One is, what issues really should be off limits? And should you have a roast with writers that are not diverse at all for a comedy special about one of the best black comedians, one of the best comedians in the last 10, 20 years? That's it.
Wow.
Just wanted to get your thoughts.
Well, the question, though, come back. So you said that Kevin Hart hired the writers?
The writers were hired by the production team.
Okay.
But Kevin Hart approved everything. So
Okay.
everything had to go through Kevin Hart.
Wow, that's interesting. All right. DL?
I just call Hollywood weird. So it's nothing.
I think you're right.
There's nothing uncommon for me. We could go on and talk about what goes on in Hollywood and how it affects folks' everyday life, But no, I hadn't really seen what he said. I know the headline, Jamal Bryant was upset.
Yeah, right. I saw that.
So, something I might look into in my spare time just to be looking. But
yeah. Well, I was sharing a story with Jay earlier because I was talking about how I felt like that the whole late night TV thing with Jimmy Kimmel attacking Mrs. Trump. I just think it's over the top. It just, to me, it ties into the same stuff that they're doing here. This whole notion now, this freedom of speech thing that you can just say anything to anybody, any kind of way, and it's okay. Oh, I got a right to do this, blah, blah, blah. My problem is not so much with Jimmy Kimmel as it with the rest of us to accept that, to allow that to be pumped in people's homes every night, attacking someone that really is defenseless, because how can they attack back? You know what I mean? I just feel like that we're just over the edge now with what people believe that they can say about someone else. I personally experienced it myself, but then again, here's my story though. So when I was a drug agent, and that was about almost 7 years, you're searching this house. People hide drugs all in different kind of places, hide them behind wall sockets and everything else. This was before we had a sniffing dog, to find them. And so when somebody would find the drugs, they'll holler out, bingo! And, you have all of the people sitting in the living room, because you got them in one spot, somebody watching them. And they say, and we would say, penitentiary, penitentiary, you're going to the penitentiary. We had a little song going, and hadn't thought much about it. It was a lot of fun for us. We caught the bad guys. But this is how it ended, though. So, and I think that the attorney that gave us pushback on that was Gerald Beaver. I'm about sure of that. Gerald Beaver is Kirk's father-in-law. We're friends.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Anyway, so Attorney Beaver gets to court, and they sequester all of us. What a sequester is that the person that's testifying, you don't know what they're saying. And then they bring you in one at a time. So they made us stay at the office, and they was calling in everybody that was on the search warrant one at a time, and to get you on the stand, talk about what happened. Now, of course, the people were guilty of possessing the drugs with intent to sell. That's not the issue. But the judge made us sing the song to the jury. Penitentiary, and that ended that whole thing. You know what I mean? So, it was like,
I bet it did.
that was the end of that. I wasn't in a supervisor position. I was probably the least rankingest guy in the room, but still, I did participate. I did. Thought it was funny, but when we got pulled into court and made to sing the song and admonished by the judge not to do it again, it wasn't so funny. I think that if cops can't sing a song to people that are suspects for selling drugs, I think that, what we're doing now, and I say we, not personally we involved in it, but I think some of the stuff is just over the top. That's my opinion about it. I think it's over the top.
Do you think that the tone that is being set with being over the top, is it set at the top by the president? Is he setting a tone by his rhetoric?
Well, my thing is this here. You see, regardless of what somebody else does, Jay, at the end of the day, you can't allow somebody else to make you be out of character. You see what I'm saying? That's the whole thing.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? It's that, so you say, oh, well, he did it. Well, he sets the tone, so therefore the rest of the world got the right to be stupid too. So now if you believe that he's out of line, then the thing for us to do is not be out of line too. That's how I see it. Even DL can tell you that's the same thing when you stopping someone on a traffic stop, and okay, they're getting a little belligerent, whatever happens. But when the officer then responds in the same way, and now you're out of character, that's not what's supposed to happen.
Well, I can tell you with Jimmy Kimmel, well, he doesn't feel that way, Troy. There's a lot of comedians out there. They don't like some of the things Trump doing, right or wrong. They're going to hit below the belt, and they're going to continue to do that. And he has to set the tone because he has the highest office in the world. He's the leader of the free world, and he reposts memes that he shouldn't repost. They're going to hit him hard, and they're going to keep on doing it. Jimmy Kimmel is personal for him, and unless ABC decide to stop him, you're not going to have folks on the left who are going to do what you say they should do. It's not going to happen.
But Deal,
it's a contact sport. He sets the tone.
But Deal, hit him, not his wife. She didn't do it. That's my point. hit him. So you think it's okay for somebody to attack your wife, your family, based on something that they got against you? No, I know you don't.
Hey, Troy, we know what the answer is. No, but it ain't gonna stop.
I know, but
it's
I'm
not gonna stop to.
But what I'm saying is that ABC, Disney, if they were doing that to Mrs. Obama, now there were outliners that attacked Mrs. Obama, and I thought that was unfair. Saying she wasn't a female and she got all this other stuff, she didn't dress appropriate, da-da-da. I got all of that. I didn't like that, but those are outliners. You can't say, I don't care what President Trump is doing, to attack his wife on late night TV, that is clearly wrong. It's just no way you can say there's nothing that he's doing that should allow that to happen. That's not fair at all. It's not.
One of the questions I have, and I don't watch a lot of late night guys.
I don't either.
But one of the things that I heard was they were poking fun of the Melania documentary. I have not heard them poking fun of her personally for anything else. I know they made fun of that documentary, but is there anything else that I'm missing? Because I don't see much in the press.
He said that she looked like a widow waiting or whatever it is. There are things there are things that are targeting her specifically. And now, see, here's the thing right here is that talk all the noise they want to. If they were doing that late night, doing between 2008 and 2016, there's no way America would stand for that. There's no way America would stand for that.
If they were doing it to Michelle.
Correct.
Most Hollywood is mostly liberal. That's why. I get what you're saying, Troy, but at the end of the day, there are going to be crazy folks on both sides of this issue that say things they shouldn't say, and Americans, we have to draw the line on what we think is decent. And, you know, the folks, they did it before. Jimmy Kimmel got suspended a couple of days, but then the affiliates, then folks come out and say they were going to drop their subscriptions to Hulu, and Disney caved in. So this subject is he's going to continue to do it until sponsors say we're not going to put up with Jimmy Kimmel no more, and we'll see where it goes.
Well, I'm saying, but this is different. We're talking about apples and oranges. You're talking about attacking someone's family versus attacking the person that you don't like. You know, I mean, I mean, it just, there's a sense of decency.
I would say kids are off limits. I'm not sure about adults, the more I think about it. I think you definitely can't attack the kids.
Well, the thing about it is, but look.
Even when the kids are adults.
If she were like a Hillary Clinton involved in the politics, because that's what they said. She said, look, when you get one of us, you get two of us. But it doesn't appear that this woman is political at all with regard to that. She's just his wife.
I would agree.
She's just his wife. And no, it's not all right. And I think that it's not the same thing. I don't care what he does. I don't care what I do. You may not like me, but I don't want you attacking my adult child. She's 37 years old. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have a problem with that. But just because you don't like something I do, you're gonna attack my family? No, I'm just saying that's not right. But I got what you're saying. But there's no way anybody that has any ounce of decency that calls themselves Christians or whatever else it is. And first of all, it's not funny. Nobody is laughing. It's not a joke. A joke is something that's meant to be funny. It's not even funny. It's just a pure
I would say
attack.
it's not funny. I would say it's probably going to be funny to the far left. It's not funny to the right and to others. But some people are laughing at the jokes. I mean, there's no question. While I don't necessarily listen to the late night stuff, there are obviously people laughing. And as DL said, Hollywood is a very liberal group of individuals. It has been. It always has been. So I'm not sure how you get away with it. The only way you get away with it, the only way you end it, is the sponsors start dropping off. And then when he loses sponsors, then it's over.
Yeah, well, I would say that all those individuals that think this is okay, the law of reciprocity works. If you're in the driver's seat and they're attacking your wife,
I agree.
and your children, I believe you're going to have a different perspective. You know what I mean? I just, that's what I believe. I mean, matter of fact, I'm assured of that. That's not. It just,
well, I can tell you this: well, then Melania Trump needs to tell her husband to grow up and be more presidential, because he did say that this week. Melania told him to stop using certain language, and he's not going to do it because he's trying to distract. When he does all this stuff about Obama, treason, he doesn't want us talking about certain subjects. So we know why he does it. But, you know, he's a grown man. He gives good as he gets. I remember the Rosie O'Donnell, and Rosie deserved it when she started with him. So he gives as good as he gets.
still, you're talking about apples and oranges. You're talking about somebody's family versus with them.
Well, you know, I didn't know we were going to be on this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Troy. I don't I don't listen to Jimmy Kimmel, but I'm definitely not worried about the first family being attacked by Jimmy Kimmel. I just don't. It just doesn't.
Well, I mean, that's not a
They
matter
sit
of
in
worry,
the bully
but
pulpit. He sits in the bully pulpit and does all the stuff that he does, late night rant, attacking folks, and you know, it rains on the just and unjust. And right now, Melania's catching it from Jimmy Kimmel. But is he wrong? Yes. But like we just said, it's Hollywood. It's liberal. They feel like they have a right to attack the right because they're doing what they call the redistricting and stuff. And this is going to continue until, well, CBS is now is moving towards, I would say, more being center. Paramount is bottom out. So they got rid of Stephen Colbert. He's left. So they're trying to make it even in Hollywood as far as not leaning so far to the left.
They're even changing 60 Minutes. They're adding some different correspondents because they want to get that more toward the middle. Barry Weiss, who is the president of CBS News, is, she is to the right, and she wants 60 Minutes to be further toward the middle or further right. So you're going to see some big changes. And now that the Warner Brothers purchase from Paramount is done, the Ellison father and son are going to change the landscape of the news. And you're going to see that in the coming months and years. It's going to be a different ballgame. CNN and others will start having, you're going to see new people on the screen and a further right perspective.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going to stay on this subject, but I can tell you this: legacy media is the reason. Liberal Hollywood is the reason why President Trump is back, because they protected Joe Biden. So the right should be happy because the legacy media, to me, they did end the Democrats. They didn't do them no favors. They thought they were, but not reporting on Joe Biden. So the right should be somewhat happy.
That's a good point, DL. I agree with you 100%.
Well, I'm just saying, look, I've been on the receiving end. Just because I wrote something favorable about Chancellor Allison and the Federal Observer, somebody over there allowed them, the writers, to call me a black Sambo. And what my understanding was, they said, well, we can do this, we can attack him in this manner because he's a public figure. Now, look, I ain't crying about it. I just thought it was unfair. Now they got a thing in the paper saying, oh, we can't do this anymore. Well, we can do it to Troy. Let's do it to Troy. And now, then you post a thing in the paper saying, well, we're not going to do any personal attacks. You know, we're not going to allow this. But my point is this, that when you get on the receiving end of some of this, and thousands of people see it, then tell me then that you don't care then, and it's not fair. Because I didn't do anything that warranted that. You see what I'm saying?
Troy, hold on a second, Troy. And when that happened 4 or 5 years ago, I contacted the Observer and one of the persons who became an elected official, because that was wrong. Now, I know you've experienced that and whatnot, and that was a liberal newspaper. So that was definitely wrong. And you're a local person, and that was a local news person, that paper that everybody sees. And what bothered me the most about that, Troy, the name that they called you, 3 years prior, who was the one on the front line who called out our health department for not contacting 169 black and brown women of possibly improper breast exams. So you are right. You definitely have personal knowledge and experience of being called out of your name and being disrespectful.
Yeah, but I'm saying, my point is just that. It's just that it grows. So you don't have to be a Donald Trump to be attacked in that manner. You know, if you just be somebody that they disagree with. You know what I mean? It could be Jay or it could be DL or whomever. I'm just saying is that this stuff is out of control, and the people that are in charge, like the Federal Reserve, should have never allowed that to be put in print. I know I had an editor that prior to the one that I had then that would have never allowed somebody to print something like that. But I'm just saying is that there has to be some responsibility, Jay, DL, of the people that are in charge. You know, you just don't allow things like that to happen.
I agree with you 100%.
Right. But anyway, though,
no disagreement here.
Yeah. I know, but look, that was a good conversation, though. I mean, you know, we got time to discuss our other stuff as well after the break. Yeah. But, you know, I just, look, to me, civility ought to be something that we all try to practice. I don't care if somebody else is acting crazy, you know, if they're acting stupid, that don't mean that I have the right to act stupid too. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. I mean, I don't think that we should do that as human beings, particularly if we call ourselves Christians and we are people of faith. Why are we going to go out here and act the way that other people are acting? It just, you know, because they're wrong, we shouldn't turn around and be wrong. At least that's how I see it. But, you know, the Bible says, pray for your enemies and pray for those that despitefully use you. And I think that's the practice I think that we ought to do. So I'm not mad with people, but I just think that they are really misdirected individuals all over. And I appreciate what you said, DL, and what you did, but still, at the end of the day, somebody over there allowed that to happen. And I've been reading that paper for 40 years, and I never saw a situation where someone was allowed to attack a person personally, making a comment like that, ever. But I got why I got that. I got that because of I'm just a black conservative, and they figured that's okay. Get him.
Was that with Chancellor Allison coming on board? That was the whole.
Yep, that's
when Chancellor Allison came on board, and you were okay. Got it. I just want to make sure.
Right, and I had wrote something favorable about the university and his leadership, and they got mad about that. But anyway, you know, that's the way it works. Yeah. Go to a break, come back, stay here, guys. We got some interesting topics for you want to talk about inside of the morning show, JDL, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Mitch Colvin, president of Colvin Funeral Home and Crematory. For over 50 years, our family has provided professional services with dignity, compassion, and respect with families during a time of need. We realize funeral services are as unique as those we're honoring. We offer a variety of affordable, quality services tailored to meet each family's needs, specializing in burial and cremation services. Proudly servicing Cumberland, Robeson, Hope, Harnett, Bladen, and surrounding counties from 2 locations, 2010 Murchison Road, Fayetteville, 1904 Elizabethtown Road, Lumberton. For more information, visit our website, www.hmcolvin.com.
After departing Beijing, China this morning en route to Washington, President Trump spoke to reporters aboard Air Force One. Mr. Trump said that he and Chinese President Xi Jinping talked a lot about Taiwan and Iran. Governor Josh Stein is reacting to a newly unveiled lawmakers' budget framework with state worker raises. North Carolina lawmakers spent months wrangling over spending priorities, ultimately arriving at a deal that puts more money in North Carolinians' pockets. North Carolina State University economics professor emeritus Mike Walden tells NCN News there's a section of the budget bill dealing with lowering tax rates. State lawmakers and music venues from across North Carolina are hoping the General Assembly passes legislation targeting predatory resale and speculative tickets. 2 people died after their small plane collided with a house in Akron, Ohio on Thursday and burst into flames. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. City Manager Doug Hewitt and city staff presented the fiscal year 2027 recommended operating budget to the City Council and the public. The recommended budget totals about $322 million. It reflects the city's commitment to delivering quality public services while remaining fiscally responsible. The City Council will review the recommended budget during work sessions on May 21st and 28th. Council members will deliberate on funding priorities, ask questions, and request adjustments. A public hearing is set for May 26th at the regular City Council meeting. Cumberland County is grateful for the partnership and support of the Fayetteville Animal Protection Society as they continue to work together to support the animals in their care. Thanks to a generous donation from FAP's donor-supported Spay It Forward program, they are able to expand access to spay and neuter services for animals that are currently in shelter and foster care. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
With high pressure taking over this weekend, we'll have plenty of sunshine, temperatures will rise, and it looks like we're going to sit in the 90s from Sunday through at least Wednesday of next week, perhaps the next cold front coming along on Thursday. As of right now, it looks like we could see a pretty good shot at rain. So later today will be warmer. It'll be sunny with a high in the mid to upper 70s, still low humidity, 40s to low 50s for the lows tonight, and then mostly sunny, breezy, and warmer. We kick it off tomorrow with mid to upper 80s. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
Remember the rotary phone? Well, soon that's what people are going to ask about gas-powered cars. And every day we see videos of robots becoming more and more like us. Welcome to the future. At Fayetteville State University, we believe that anything really can happen. So wherever it is that you want to go, we've got a program for that. Visit Fayetteville State University and find out how we're preparing students just like you for what comes next. Fayetteville State University. Are you in?
Angelic Flourish Creations, 442 Hillsborough Street, Fayetteville, is family owned and operated, proudly serving the Fayetteville area. Whatever the occasion, Angelic Flourish Creations can create a floral arrangement or gift for any occasion or holiday. Angelic Flourish Creations has prompt, friendly, and caring service. If you want to say you care, you can always say it with flowers from Angelic Flourish Creations, 442 Hillsborough Street, Fayetteville. Call 910-485-2205.
If you need a lawyer or you've been involved in an accident resulting in serious injury, call the Rogers Firm at 910-433-0833. We have a proven track record for getting results for persons injured due to the negligence of others. What you don't know can hurt you, and you need a firm who cares about you. So call the Rogers Firm at 910-433-0833. That's Attorney Alan Rogers and the Rogers Firm, a proud member and sponsor of Wake Up.
Faith Tabernacle Christian Center presents Family Fun Day Festival, a day for the entire family to worship, fellowship, and have lots of fun. Sunday, May 24th, 11:15 a.m., featuring carnival rides, such as a large Ferris wheel, carousel, big slide, and much more. There will be plenty of delicious food. We'll have ribs, chicken, hot dogs, Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, funnel cakes, and more. The day will begin with a worship service, and then the fun begins. This is a free event, and it's open to the public. Doors will open at 10:45 a.m., so don't be late. There's something for everyone, so bring the entire family and join us for this fun-filled day at the Family Fun Day Festival. For more information and directions, call the church at 910-865-5252 or check us out on the web at ftccenter.org. Make plans now to join us for our Family Fun Day Festival, Sunday, May 24th at 11:15 a.m. at Faith Tabernacle Christian Center, located in St. Paul's, North Carolina. See you there.
Our weather is all about high pressure as we enter the weekend. It's a ridge aloft that will bring temperatures back into the 90s. We haven't felt them since April. Sunshine, warmer today with mid to upper 70s, but the humidity is still very low. It'll be a nice day to be outside. Mostly clear tonight, upper 40s to low 50s. Tomorrow is mostly sunny, breezy, and warmer, mid to upper 80s. It's likely that we'll see highs in the 90s Sunday. I'm meteorologist Mike Mays in the NCN Weather Center.
Back on the Friday morning show here with Jay and DL. Jay, DL is going to lead off with talking about this school closure issue that we have going in our community here. You know, it's been, but again, though, it runs down the same path, DL and Jay. It's name calling and all this other stuff. I'm talking about a local issue, but it's the same kind of behavior. And I'm telling you, that's behavior that we have to change. DL?
Well, and you're right, Troy. And so the vice chair, Ms. Brown, correct me if I'm wrong, it's Jackie Brown, right, Troy?
Correct.
Yeah. So she gave a statement after the closing. The board approved 5-3 because one board member was not available. So they voted 5-3 to close J.W. Kuhn, and they voted 5-3 to close down Manchester. And I looked at her response, and it was eloquent, and it was about, she kept it on the facts. She didn't, and she understands how the community feels about their schools. But she talked about two things. She talked about the decline in enrollment, number one, and then she talked about the cost of keeping these schools open and then the money saved. And, you know, it's when I would say when you're an elected official, you're not allowed to run away from tough decisions. You raise your hand or you got hired and you said, I can make these tough decisions. You're not going to be an elected official and you're not going to make everybody happy. But the key thing here, Troy and Jay, is that it was just not about Spring Lake and the community over there off Hope Mills Road where J.W. Kuhn is located at. It's about all the taxpayers, the number of stakeholders involved in this, the kids, the parents, and our homeowners who don't have kids. They still have to pay property tax. Some of that is trickled down to the school. So she made a decision what was best for everybody and all. It boils down to money. And I'll say this before I pass it on to you. Folks have to realize if it was your money, would you continue to throw money at a house that it's losing value and you won't be able to resell it down the road and you just keep repairing the plumbing and the issue doesn't go away? Well, if you look at these buildings, you know, these are taxpayers want the elected folks to make decisions, sound decisions, because, you know, they have to be good stewards of the money.
Can you just share with me and the audience the details as far as the savings it would be to taxpayers?
Well,
do you have that
according to hold on a second, let me pull it back over. Well, according to the taxpayers, hold on one second. All right, so she cited that $5 million. Here's the reason why. She said the district has 1,242 fewer students than in the previous years, leading to about $10 million less in state funding. She also cited $5 million budget shortfall and declining fund balance, noted that the school closings are estimated to generate $475,000 to $630,000 in reoccurring annual savings per school. And that in itself, that's why she voted with the others for to make that decision. And folks, at the end of the day, when she's up for re-election or any elected official, you get to vote them out of office if you don't agree with their decision. And furthermore, when the new board, it's going to be some elections this year, if the new board don't think it, they won't do it. I highly, 99% believe they won't do it. They can come in and reverse it. They're not going to reverse it. I'm just saying that would be crazy. Because, and one last thing, the county commissioners have to fund school boards. That's been a problem in North Carolina. It's been clashing Forsyth County, Gaston County, Cabarrus County. Those board of commissioners have been chastising those boards, the school boards, because they have to fund them. Now, they don't want to oversee those boards, but they are responsible for giving them money to fund the schools and also provide supplements for teachers, because the state only pays the teacher's salary. Supplements are a local funding issue.
Can you tell me, and another question I have, and one of you two may know this, so for those kids that were attending both of those schools, how will they transition? And they've already identified the schools that they will be attending, Is
Sure.
it going to be an issue with transportation and everything?
No.
It seems like it's a.
In Spring
Yeah.
Lake, there's 1.1 mile difference between Spring Lake and W.T. Brown. Now, W.T. Brown is actually on federal property, but unless someone told you and you were paying specific attention, you would think that W.T. Brown was in Spring Lake based on its proximity.
Right.
And it is a newer school. I think it was built in when, 2000? When was that school built? Anyway,
Yeah.
it's a relatively
late
new school.
90, 2000.
Right. It's a relatively new school. So I got that people want to hold on to things for their own personal and or historic reasons, if they will. However, I believe we're not causing, I believe the word that was used at the board meeting by one person was education genocide. I mean, that's, I mean, really, I mean, come on. You're moving them 1.1 mile away to another school. I mean, I can walk a mile in less than 10 minutes myself. You see what I'm saying? I mean, come on.
What about the other school? What about the other school?
They're moving from Manchester, but J.W. Kuhn, I think, weren't they combining some schools there, DL? I forget exactly how, but J.W. Kuhn is on Hope Mills Road.
Well, see, what's going to happen, J.W. Kuhn in Sherwood Park, now, folks, I'll pop if I get it wrong, but I do know the end result. J.W. Kuhn, those kids are either going to be moved to Sherwood or Brentwood. Brentwood is off Bingham Drive. However, they're going to build a new school in that area, and it's going to be on the J.W. Kuhn property near that nice fire station. So they're going to rebuild another school. And you talk about school population dwindling. The Douglasburg School District, in that area, you don't get a lot of new houses. So therefore, their population is dwindling. They're going to build a new school for them, so they'll eventually come back. Sort of what they're doing with East Cliff when they send them to Ramsey for a year or two.
Right.
So at the end of the day, these decisions made a lot of sense.
Well, I mean, they make a lot of sense to some people, but then, you see, at the end of the day, like you said, declining student populations, which is not something that all of the schools statewide are experiencing that. People are using other options to educate their children, and also the birth rate is going down. So you have less students. So they're going to get less money from the state because of the population of the students.
Yeah, and
in
some of these
leadership, you got to
parents
make
don't
tough.
need to be.
I beg your pardon.
In
What now?
leadership, you got to make tough and unpopular decisions. I mean, that's leadership.
Right. Well, you see,
It's not always going to be a popular decision, but you gotta be able to lead and make sound decisions. And sometimes they're not popular.
They had some consultants to come in, and they recommended more closers than that. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
And then people are saying, and I know what they're doing, guys. I'm not going to fix it up for you. They're trying. There's some people trying to make it black and white. Well, they kept Master Hill open. Now you can't compare Master Hill to Manchester, people. They both start with M's, but come on, man, that's totally different. Master Hill is a classical school, right? You see what I'm saying? Meaning that anybody can go there. You talking about Manchester, I believe it's K through 5. It's not the same thing. It's not. And then you talk about Beaver Dam as well. I know what they're trying to say, that those are white schools and you're closing the black school, whatever. Now, but, come on. They're building a brand new E. Smith and a brand new Ferguson Easley at the sites that they're at. That's in Broadell. That is an African-American subdivision. I heard people say to me, they say, well, Troy, white people are moving up here now. I mean, that's cool. I didn't know that, but what are you saying? Are you saying they're building it now because the white people are moving up there? I mean, I don't know how they go in and out, but I don't see them on Langland Street that often or either on Merchant Road. Unless they're coming in by helicopters. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that the neighborhoods are not becoming more diverse, but at the end of the day, they had to make some closures somewhere. Somebody's not going to be happy.
Yeah, well, and that's Troy, and Mr. Mayor, the Honorable Miss Colvin said it a couple of weeks ago when people accused him of not doing things detrimental to black folks, and he said it, and I agree with the mayor. You got a predominantly black council and you got a predominantly black school board. They're not going to do anything that's going to harm black folks. And I just think that's a shame. And the two black women that voted with the other three, hold your head high. And they talked about other people greater than me and you. So you did what you thought was best for the county and the overall taxpayer. And to insinuate, black folks, we don't all think alike, but when we do not think as the masses of black folks think we should think, we sellouts. That's how that works.
That's the point. You see, that's what I'm talking about. It's the same thing. It's the Hollywood crowd. So, see, Jay, here's the thing is, now there's one male on there, and I'm just putting it out there because they want to blame the one male who happens to be white. This is all your fault. And my response is this: when I talked to him, I said, "Wait a minute now." I said, "There are 6 African-American women on that school board. 6. That's a super majority." Now I know the chair is out on medical leave, but still they have the numbers there. They can do whatever they want to do.
Who are they blaming?
If it's about black and white, so how you going to take this one guy and you're going to blame him for 8 other people, because there's 9 people there. It's 2 white females. And there's no. He's just doing this. He closed the school. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. What'd you just say? How can this guy have done that all by himself? Which is not true. Yeah. But you see, because that person is running for another office, now there's
Is this West?
Yep.
Yeah.
We got a chance to get him back. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying is that kind of what I call nonsense that don't make sense to me, because now.
And Jackie Warner, I'm sorry, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. You got Jackie Warner and then a lady named Susan Williams.
Yeah, Jackie Warner has emotional ties to the Douglasburg district. She was assistant principal at Byrd, and then she was also principal at Montclair. So she has ties to that community, and she
grandkids in that school
about Sherwood Park. Yeah, she receives calls about that. She's Douglasburg. She's taught that area as an educator. She received calls, but she had to make a decision she felt was best for the whole county again.
I heard her say, man, I heard her say that the reason she ran for the school board after being the mayor of Hope Mills was because her grandchildren were in the Douglasburg school district.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Can I change topics for a minute when you get ready?
Go.
I just wanted to. There are 2 topics. One is Goodyear, the jobs. The other one is another audit by Dave Boliak, the auditor over at Hope Mills, where they identified, I think it was like $1 million that was used for increased salaries that were unjustified.
Right.
So there's a lot of heat going on over at Hope Mills. So you have Boliak again. I mean, I sort of like what he's doing. I don't have all the details, but again, he's really targeting a lot of local governments around the state. And then, of course, you have the Goodyear 1,700 jobs. So just wanted to throw those 2 things out there. The job thing is a real issue because that's a huge hit for the city, and also tax revenue will be lost.
True. Well, you see, I was told that in the last 10 years or less, Goodyear has closed 4 different sites nationally anyway. And what happens is the work sites begin to compete with each other. So you got one work site in Memphis, you got one in Texas or California, wherever they are. Then they start looking at the production levels at those sites. And so if you got a site that's not doing well as the others, then they shut that one down. I'm not blaming anybody, but the little scuttlebutt that I'm hearing is that, you know, we may have bought this on ourselves with not being as proficient as we should have compared to other sites nationwide.
Well, that, you know, you're right, Chris. If you got 5 plants and you're losing money, but you know you're not going to close all of them down, yeah, it's like, you know, some jobs they lay off folks based on last hired, first fired. Well, that don't make sense. I'm not getting rid of somebody who is a top earner or a top producer. That doesn't even make any sense. So, you know, you got an influx of union. You got a generation now, Troy, our cell phone generation. And it's not just young
exactly.
folks. And, you got school teachers that have cell phones in their classroom, can't stay off of them. So it's adults too. I see these old folks, you know, I see my daddy sometimes. When I go down to his house, he have his cell phone. He about 70-something. But folks can't keep these cell phones out of their head no more.
They're addictive. Yeah. I can't keep it out of my hand. They are addictive.
Excuse me, dear. I'm 70-something too. Don't be talking about your father.
Oh, you are so
anyway,
right. Wow.
But anyway, you know, and that hurt in the union. And the union protects bad employees.
Oh yeah, they do that.
That's right.
They do.
And so Tyler, Texas is you know, Goodyear had to make a decision, and this was not something just that was because of the current administration in D.C. This was years in planning.
Right.
But here's the thing about it, though. Let's concentrate on the folks who they got a running start. Somebody was upset and said they didn't like how it came out, and I'm reading the comment. I'm like, how do you not like how it came out? It's not like they told them that next week is it. So they give them a year. It gives you a chance to get your personal affairs in order. Some folks that are older are probably retired. Some folks are going to have to reinvent themselves, and they may have to leave Cumberland County. But the good thing about that, I've seen folks when the post office sorting center, Fayetteville lost some post office jobs. You had guys that got together, drove to Charlotte, they got a little small apartment, and they work in their community back on the weekend. So the good thing about Fayetteville residents, you're within an hour to Raleigh. And because Chatham County, US 1, there's a lot of Hitachi, there's a lot of jobs coming in that corridor. So you just got to make sure you get help somebody get you write your resume and do it in the best interest for you and your family. But don't wait till the last minute. Do not wait.
But it just takes 3 days. Look, if I mail my neighbor first class letter, I mean, right beside me, it's going to take 3 days, 3 working days to get to his house. I mean, that's
well, hey,
that's crazy.
But the point is that they had to make decisions.
I understand.
You know,
I understand.
So, and I feel for them because that was not a government job. And and so now the city council and the county commissioners, they have to look at ways of trying to bring more jobs in. And I know folks, you didn't want Sanderson Farms, the titanium plant you didn't want. I'm not going to start.
Wait a second, I thought the titanium. Wait a second, D.L. I thought the titanium plant is going to be happening. That's not going to be happening.
Where are we at on that, Troy?
I don't know
that
exactly.
was a real deal.
But I know there's pushback against it,
Pushback. That's what I meant to say. Let me rephrase it. It's
and then the data centers. The data centers.
Well, the NAACP, local NAACP, has sent a letter out too. And mind you, now I'm just saying that look, guys, there's nothing that's going to be 100% environmentally safe. Okay, I mean let's look, that's real. Now, unless y'all want to just go back and be Amish and stuff, walking around with donkeys and burn candles at night, I'm telling you that.
I like that. I think we need to go that direction.
Well, look, you go. I don't want to spend the rest of my days on the planet back there. No, not me. No. Having grown up in the South, in a house without running water when I was a little kid, no, I don't want to go back to any of that, sir. No.
No, I don't blame you. I just worry about the tax base that shrinks by losing 1,700 jobs and losing a pretty big company. That's one of the largest employers in Cumberland County. So it's a big hit for the county. But as you said, they're given a year. So hopefully in that time, folks can get their resumes built up and
hopefully there'll be other opportunities, and some people will retire, but it's still a big hit.
About 18 months, right. We had Robert Van Giens on yesterday with the mayor, the economic person. He said that you don't have exact numbers, but they estimate 2/3 of those individuals live in Cumberland County, because that was a regional plant. There were people driving 60 miles to get there to work.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, but I tell you, but folks are going to have to reinvent themselves. AI, data is going to be here. I can't see it stopping. You can you can do online applications, have your driver's license. It takes data to store everything. We're in a data-driven world. But I tell you this, folks, when you're in school now, nothing wrong with being therapists, nothing wrong with being a criminal justice major, but you're going to have to, what you put in to get these degrees, it needs to pay for itself. That's why some folks say, I'm not getting a master's if it's not going to pay for itself. AI can't do plumbing for me. AI can't fix my car. You're going to have to start going into these, and these trades pay good money.
They do.
So folks are going to have to, at the high school level, parents, folks going to have to start having conversations with young folks. What are you going to school for? Is it going to pay you on the back end? Just don't get a degree just to be getting a degree.
That's true. Well, look, guys, we got to get out of here. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Look, guys, the message is, if you choose to be different, expect somebody to try to smack you upside the head, okay? That's the reality, man. You got to live with it like that now. But now, if you want to be a part of the tribe, keep your mouth shut, hold your head down, and when they say tin hut, left face, you go left, go right, whatever, then they probably won't bother you. But if you choose to be any way different, tie your shoes up different, they're coming after you. Jay, DL, thank you guys so much. You guys have a great weekend.
Thank you so much.
And also to all of our listeners out there, we have Miss Tammy Quick, the greatest in America. She's producing on today. Coming up at 10 o'clock, you're going to have a heartbeat with the Reverend Dr. Johnny L. Godbolt. And at 11 o'clock, MP3 on your station for information, WIDU 1600 AM 99.7.